Hello, you beautiful people. My name is Davi. I'm joined by Abe and Charlie. Welcome back to another Tony Tuesday.
How you doing?
First episode of season 3. Woo! For our viewers and listeners, we hope you guys are doing well. Just a quick heads up, this episode is also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, specifically the discussion portion of the show. And if you're looking for an uncut reaction, you'll find a link in the description for our Patreon. And thank you so much for our patrons and our subscribers here on YouTube. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Woo! Abe and Charlie, how you doing?
It's a lot of woos.
I'm doing good, Ric Flair.
Yeah, I was literally about to say the same thing. He watched Iron Claw and just couldn't get Ric Flair out of his head.
Davi has two Moses, Ric Flair and Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Wow.
It's only a matter of time until you start back smacking us.
Damn, bro. I'm good. Please take it easy.
Wait. Abe and Charlie, you guys good?
We're good.
How's life?
Yes.
Yeah, life is lifing.
Life is lifing.
Yeah.
We're back to it. Season 3. It's taken us like a million years to get here.
But I think now we're pacing well.
Yes, we are.
Which is good.
I want to say one thing because I think there's been a couple comments about this and we haven't addressed it head on. So I think when we started Sopranos a while back, we talked about potentially doing Sopranos 2 times a week, all that stuff. At the time, it sounded really like a good idea. The reason why we haven't done that, and we apologize to the people who have been asking for that, there are other shows that we want to be doing. There's other like content that we want to also be creating. And we're trying to get consistent on that. So the hard thing is for us to commit to doing Sopranos because it's a super dense show. So discussions take a lot. Watching the show takes a lot. So for us to like do varying content and do the other things that we also want to do in addition to Sopranos, we are going to be sticking with once a week. And I know that's painful to some people to wait a week for every single episode. But it's honestly been good for us because we get to really appreciate and take our time with the show. And we didn't really expect that, have that perspective going in when we started. So just to give that little bit of context, because we did say it at one point, but I think we have changed our minds and apologize to the people who are expecting that. But we hope that you stick with it because we're going to try to be as consistent as possible with Tony Tuesday. And we will get to the end. I promise. We're going to keep going.
We will 100%. Before we get into this episode, Abe, can you read some comments from our previous season 2 finale reaction?
The first one comes from Mr. Tomlet. Yeah, I think there's a psychosomatic component to what's going through with the food. What he's going through with the food poisoning is a way to not have to deal with it fully. But then the dreams keep going and he has to confront it. Pretty sure he knew since Pussy came back, he's been repressing it the whole season. I think we all talked about it at the discussion of the last episode where the food poisoning was one thing, but like Pussy didn't get the food poisoning and Tony did. And I think that was like very specific to kind of show the viewers that there was some sort of like psychology behind why he was having like these fever dreams and like feeling sick to his stomach. And I think it all did point back to Pussy and that suspicion that he's been having and the anxiety around that stuff.
Yeah.
The next comment comes from Gunnar4915. You guys are spot on about the Barry dream sequences being inspired by this. That's all I could think about during those scenes in Barry. It's cool watching The Sopranos now, and I know that people who had seen it originally now see art that was inspired by it and can point it out then. But it's cool doing the inverse too, right? Like we see different films or TV or whatever, and we're like, oh man, that's like spot on Sopranos. Like you can see the inspiration 100%. So yeah, it's cool for us to be able to see that. And it's going to be even cooler that we're like taking our time with it because for now, everything that we see, we're going to be able to be like, oh, Sopranos, and point that stuff out as we watch it. And the last one here comes from Poopman6473.
What a name.
What a name. In that dream that Tony had on the boardwalk, the guy who had been shot in the head was killed back in the very first episode of the season, I believe, in a car. His killer was the guy who was shining his shoes in the dream. Pretty creepy detail.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot of like weird...
Nice catch.
Yeah, thank you for that that insight. There was a lot of like weird symbolisms in there to like foreshadow the mob culture and the hits and, maybe having to kill someone who served you or, you serve someone so long and then they kill you kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I thought there was a little bit of that kind of symbolism in there. And I think that a lot of people in the comments were saying this was their favorite episode of like the whole series.
Yeah, I remember I looked at the IMDb of it. It's like sitting at a 9 point something.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous. Like it's so high. It's really high.
It's really high. And for good reason. So I think the dream sequences play a big role in that.
But before we get into this episode, are you guys seeing how crazy Sopranos has gotten on TikTok recently?
It's been blowing up.
And it sucks because I have to not like those videos because if I do like it, I will get on Sopranos TikTok and I do not want to get anything spoiled.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that, are you guys seeing the mob aesthetic conversation?
I have been seeing.
Have you seen that?
I've seen like, well, I don't know if this is the same thing that you're talking about, but I saw like this viral TikTok of a guy in New Jersey who like very Tony Soprano build and like suit with the like mobster accent and like cadence, ordering at like an Italian restaurant type thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is Sopranos." I don't know if that's what you're talking about. But.
Yeah, no. So what I'm talking about is I took a deep dive, I think last night, and I got on mob aesthetic, and it is a ton of Italian American women who are upset that mob aesthetic is now a thing, where there's people who are dressing like mobsters' wives, and
like Carmela,
like Carmela, and they're like, no, that's not how we dress. That's not our culture. Like, stop it.
So the mobsters' wives are getting pissed. Yeah, getting
no, the Italian Americans are pissed. Okay. So then, but then I was like, I was taking a deeper dive, and some people are suspecting that it was the HBO Max account who made this a thing to get people to generate just more buzz on The Sopranos.
That's so funny.
And I'm like, wow, that is a marketing tactic that is working so well, because I don't know, maybe more people are not watching The Sopranos.
That's the crazy thing with these shows, right? Is like they have such a long shelf life because of how like popular they were, and like they stand the test of time, and like HBO has a gold mine. Like with Sopranos, like it's feels like it's never really gonna die, because here we are in 2024, and the most like popular thing on our channel is us reacting to Sopranos, which came out in '99. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
So I would definitely, I could see them trying to generate buzz even for a show that came out.
And it's some heated debates. I'm just there like, wow, stitching each other, going crazy. I'm just having popcorn, But all right, talking too much. Charlie, season 3, episode 1.
Mr. Ruggerio's neighborhood?
Ruggerio.
Or Ruggerio?
I'm making it up. I have no idea.
We're going to find out.
Did I send you guys a video of James Gandolfini like talking in his normal voice?
No, I didn't get that.
Have you guys seen him?
No, I haven't.
Bro, it's trippy.
Really?
So different.
Bro, the only reason I don't look up Sopranos content is because I don't want things to get spoiled, so I don't look at anything.
I got it. Honestly, I don't get show spoilers. I get more things about like James Gandolfini, the actors and things like that.
I don't get anything except for
Facebook.
For whatever reason. There's like a Facebook group of Sopranos stuff, and it's already spoiled a very big plot line for me, and I'm not happy about it. But
keep that shit to yourself, my boy.
Yeah. Don't say nothing.
Anytime I see a scene of Sopranos, I don't even care if I've seen it already. I'm like, oh,
skip.
Goodbye.
Skip.
I remember seeing like a second of one that I knew I hadn't seen. I was like, nah, get out of here.
I wonder how much time has gone between where we left off and where we are now.
It was like summer, right? He's getting out there in his early morning in his drawers.
Garbage context heats up. Violence feared. He's going to have to wipe out that reporter.
Pompensiero was crucial to the Webistic stock fraud case.
So are they aware of his death, or that he's missing?
They're assuming.
Especially if the mother testifies in exchange for immunity.
Come on. Whose own mother's going to testify against him?
She won't.
Richie Aprile. Exactly. No doubt about it, the cartel had him whacked.
So they're aware of everyone being gone. Both of them.
They just disappear, obviously.
No, I know, but I'm saying we've passed some time for them to realize.
This is a sneak and peek warrant. Well, I said you could enter the basement to drop a wire. I mean, how many times we have to impact this family's right to privacy?
First, when the home is empty, we enter to take sound levels, determine where to best place the wire.
Wow.
Well, see that they limit both entrances to the basement only. It's not a Better Homes and Garden store.
Mosquito abatement.
I feel like these stakeouts here always like disguised as some sort of pest patrol or something.
Plumbers.
Yeah.
ADP, like the home security stuff.
Yeah.
He knows. He's too smart.
Listen, I'll save you some gas. I'm just going down to the stationery store, then I'll be right back. You don't gotta follow me like yesterday.
Actually, the maid is gone for a little while on Tuesday afternoons.
But are you taking AJ into account? Will he be home?
Carmela's gone the same hours on Tuesday. Tennis lessons.
The daughter's at Columbia, lives in the dorms.
Thought it was a dream. There's AJ.
Hey,
he's gangsta now.
He's dripping.
Jeez, bro, I remember the baggy cargo
and
pants.
the chain on the side.
Crazy.
Yeah. The chain connecting to your wallet. I used to have that.
Unit 1, this is Control. Baby Bing headed your way.
Baby Bing. I'm so dead.
So this is going to be like a whole stakeout episode the whole time. All right, here we go.
She's very perceptive, so I'm like wondering if she's going to realize.
Roger, Control.
I'm so dead at the theme.
This is some spy stuff. Yeah.
Great. I love it. We don't see this perspective often.
Right.
You'll have the maid, Ray Jetta. SC team, the location reads secure. You have 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Oh my God, that transition was crazy. From the spy song to every step you take. What the frick?
That was crazy.
Listen, some DJs
the genre,
notes.
the genre bending right now is crazy.
Right. I just went back. Yeah, see, it's like a remix. Look at the lyrics. It makes sense. David Chase uses the music like so literally.
Yeah.
In his stuff, and I like that a lot. Is this the guy who was with Pussy all the time? Forgot his name. Yeah.
I had him darted in the shoulder like she wanted and reinforced the hem. Shouldn't have torn like that.
Shouldn't have torn like that. Probably got ripped up.
We know how that happened.
During their activities.
Ever go to tie your shoes and you notice the end of your laces are wet? From what? Why would they be wet?
I got no fucking idea.
You go to public bathrooms, you stand at the urinal.
Oh, fuck, come on, will ya?
He's asking me, I'm telling him. Even if the lace is dry. Bacteria and viruses migrate from the soul up.
All right, so Paulie's a big germaphobe. Yeah. That's why he was freaking out at the poison ivy that episode.
Can eat maple walnut ice cream from the toilet.
And they can pour all the fucking ice they want down there, my friend. It does nothing to kill germs. Even if you keep your shoes tied and you're not dragging your laces through urine.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I'm disabling the line to the phone company.
Oh, shoot.
Pickett Wilson.
Today would have been our birthday.
Our birthday. Oh, yeah. Phones.
Hey, happy birthday. How old are you?
51.
Hey, it was a fucking tragedy.
Oh, Mojo, capito. You brother was you twin brother.
Friends, like us, called him Spoons. Somebody whacked the kid a couple months before you came over.
You big motherfucker.
Oh, we
was
saw that.
guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what we're talking about.
Yep. Who was that guy who shot him? Was he part of Junior's crew?
I
I
don't
can't remember who he was. Well, he was part of.
Don't it happen that identical twins, a lot of times, they'll die within a couple of days of each other? That would have been okay with me, believe me.
Hey, look at
Hey.
No, wait, that guy was part of Tony's crew, no? Didn't they like fake a whole drop off of the airport thing? Fake that he traveled from Italy to...
They did, yeah. But it was so quick, I can't remember.
So his brother was part of Junior's crew. And Tony had him whacked, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so, Charlie. I think so.
It's a joke. Come on.
I think it was him.
Was it not him,
It was
bro?
him,
Because
yeah,
it looked
it
like
was
the
him.
guy in the cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
That looks like
Yeah,
that looks
it was
like the
him.
guy. Oh God.
Adriana
Hey, yo.
Lacerda. Well, I'm delighted to teach any pal of Karam's. She's my most disciplined student. Perfect muscle tone doesn't hurt either.
Hey, yo.
Unfortunately, listen, I have to apologize, Karam. I thought I called everybody, but I'm not going to be teaching here anymore. Basically, it's Kitty got this .com job in San Diego, so we're moving.
I didn't even know you were married.
Yeah, but you're in luck. Birgit here is taking over for me.
How wonderful.
These peeping toms.
This man loves his job. Oh, my God.
Watch Christopher roll up on them.
Food tastes like ass anyway.
Bro, these kids smoking cigs. They're not even like 15. No, they are, because one's driving the car, so it must be like 16.
Excellent jersey.
Remind me not to visit you in the hospital. That is a cool shirt. Yeah.
AJ thinking of playing football?
Worth it to do something other than smoke cigs and drink peach Snapple.
Yeah. Who's going to be the football coach that gets screwed? Remember, Meadow played soccer. We know what happened to her coach. Speaking of Meadow.
On be just fight right through that line. If you can make it here, you'll make it boom, boom, anywhere.
I was about to say, yeah, she's drunk. There's no way. Bro, how you about to sleep with all this going on in the background?
It's New York.
It's a vibe, man. Like birds chirping.
Who wrote the Star Spangled Banner?
Martin Luther King.
Francis Scott Key?
Martin Luther King, he said.
Back in Woods, I was an engineer with 20 employees and a grant from the state to do autonomous research.
That's just for Anthony Jr.
Oh, my God.
120-gallon water heater. Whoa, wait a minute. Go back. Look at the brown water. Right there, freeze it. Freak forward, give us some magnification.
Does he think it's blood?
That baby's gonna blow.
My dad was a plumber. Tony got about 6 months left to go on that lining.
Oh, it's a shame that we can't warn him.
Okay.
I'm dead.
Now you see that lamp there?
That's where the bug's going.
Oh my gosh.
Quantico.
They bought a brand new one. I wonder if they're practicing or if they're actually going to use that one and try to make it look old. Looks like that's what they're doing. They're going through a lot of trouble for this. Jesus.
Man, something happens to the lamp. He's like, yo, I hate this lamp. I'm going to throw it up.
That guy's going to get popped, bro. There's no way.
Listen, Tone, I think we may have a problem. Log off. That cookie shit makes me nervous.
Hey, he's right.
We may have a problem about our friend, the twin. Joey says lately he's been into the booze very heavy. A couple of times I had to pick him up off the floor. Patsy launches into this single malt diatribe about how people can smile in your face and still be a villain, and that he knows how his brother died and who's responsible and all that, Dad.
You mention me by name?
No. Me neither.
Also, if your brother just dies, like, who are you going to expect?
Right.
You know, I mean, if you're mob affiliated.
Part of this guy loves you, but it's gotta be hard coming into work every day, looking right into the eyes of the guy you know ordered your brother whacked.
We always have the option.
To whack him also?
Yeah.
This guy loves his job, bro.
Okay, guys, collect. Actually, Aid, let me work with you here. Carm, you collect.
Huh?
I think she's got
She
something
into
for
her?
Adriana.
Yeah.
Sounds, feels like it.
And follow through.
Yep, 100%. Seen that a million times. Nah, bro. They decided to get busy, so now your whole plan's full, my guy.
Huh?
They're getting busy in there.
You think so?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She said, "Oh my God, yeah, I think so." Yeah.
But with who?
With her husband, or maybe someone else.
In Tony's house.
Oh, maybe she's
Did they
cheating?
do that?
Yeah.
Could be.
Damn, they do that in Tony's house behind their backs.
Nope.
Or she found something.
She's leaving the court.
Oh wait.
Maybe the thing exploded.
Maybe they found
beforehand?
something. Yeah.
The tank.
The tank. Yeah.
Maybe
The
the
plumbing
tank
tank.
exploded.
Could be the tank
before?
or...
Yeah.
I don't know why my head just went to...
Yeah. We both did it. We both. Yeah. We both did it. We'll get roasted, but it's okay.
Wait, why? Oh, no. I mean, the way she was yelling over him, bro, that was my first thought.
They said something about the sausage factory. I was like, what?
That's what they called the house.
Okay.
Like where how the sausage is made.
Report, Andy. It's not a go. Repeat, we are not a go.
Rip. They got out just in time.
I think they found like cigarettes, like Anthony Jr.'s or something like that.
But we're finished for today here, ladies and gentlemen.
Rip.
Yep.
Yeah.
The tank.
Oh my God.
All flooded.
10 fucking years he said this fucking thing would work.
Oh. Wedding photo.
The room.
Mr. Ruggerio, thank God.
Ruggerio.
Do we have any idea what went down?
No, family emergency of some sort.
Plumber's truck went up there.
Look, we don't have any idea what happened, so let's not speculate. All I know is it was shit out of luck till next Tuesday.
I mean, you guys literally talked about this.
The people next door have had some trucks go up there, I think.
Do you know if everything's okay over there?
As far as I know,
Well, we'll go talk to them.
probably you should. They're in them.
Pardon?
Nothing. They're different.
Trying to start shit.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? What? The fuck? Is that Pat Parisi?
Oh,
shit.
Is he there to try to kill him?
No, I think he's gonna kill himself. Oh, never mind. Brother, with a revolver from that range?
Holy shit. Can't do it.
He's drunk.
What happened at the Soprano house was the water heater blew. A unit saw Ruggerio come back with a flatbed and haul the old one out.
My sister used to live up near there. She was friends with Mrs. Ruggerio.
Yeah, it's Mr. Ruggerio's neighborhood.
We've had every one of Tony's phones bugged for 4 years. The guy says less than Harpo marks.
Next Tuesday, the wire drops a definite go.
Here we go.
I don't know.
Mr. Bingle has left the building.
He knows, bro.
They fucking made me.
Confirming access to switching box. I'm going in.
I mean, wouldn't Tony suspect that they're trying to do something like that?
Maybe. I mean, they might just be tailing him in his eyes. So
Teacher knows nothing. Waste our time with those childish trick questions. Stop men at work. And how do we know it doesn't mean stop all men who are working? He shouldn't have taken a point of my grade.
Talking about driving
He
school.
thinks I'm a hot cabbie from Pakistan. Whoa, leave. Where are you going?
Going back to work.
Oh, see? It's never going to work. Like, always gets spoiled. This
He's
time
gonna
it's
stop it.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Kevin.
Sorry. Can you tell me, is the West Essex language school around here?
There.
Is it co-ed?
What?
You wouldn't happen to be Polish by any chance, would you?
Yes.
My grandmother is Polish.
This guy.
Excuse me. How can I help you, sir?
I was just wondering if I could ask you a few questions about the language school. How is it?
Sweet mother of Jesus.
It'd be Adriana.
this man, bro.
Hi, Abe. Hi, guys.
Listen to this now. Hi, Abe.
Hi.
Oh my God.
I love those. Oh my God.
Some Reeboks?
Reebok.
Ay, 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 ay.
Can't, bro. Can't. This man's like, never change my post on these stakeouts. He hopes they keep failing this, bro.
Clean up from the flood.
It's not under the right duct anymore. Should we move it back?
What, 2 or 3 feet? Who's gonna notice?
Yeah. No, wait. Somebody might. Make an executive decision.
Imminent.
He's going to notice.
God,
He was so straight edge.
There's her friend again. I
Yeah,
feel like
it's Hunter.
Yeah, we haven't seen her in a long time.
Wow. Do you like citron jello shots?
Actually, I haven't had any alcohol in a week. I went over to the health center.
Oh.
Gave me this prescription for Buspar.
That's for like anxiety, right?
Oh.
There was like this weightlifter guy on the subway today.
So
Probably homesick.
Having anxiety problems as well.
Dang.
My man loves his car.
You got a problem? With what, Tom? I don't know. I heard maybe you got a fucking problem, like you don't like being here.
I like being here.
You sure?
Yeah.
Don't say you're sure if you're not sure.
He knows.
Who was telling me you bought your daughter a nice house, after you came over with us? Yeah, that's nice.
Wonderful thing.
Different.
Yeah, the shot looks
Yeah.
like it's
very grainy.
Wow. When it's on Tony, it's super grainy. I don't know if they just didn't remaster it to.
Yeah, if I were to compare it, I would say that it's going from like a remastered digital version back to like an original VHS type.
You got a younger son, too, right? You ought to bring him up to the house. You can hang out with AJ. We can get something to eat. They can go in the pool.
I wonder how he knows. It probably has cameras or something. I don't know.
Control, you hearing me?
Loud and clear. Leave the factory.
Roger that.
They're gonna get caught, bro.
I just think someone's gonna recognize that they moved it.
Yeah,
And Tony's gonna
either one of
notice.
us too. Yeah.
Think, Soprano, come on, think it! You want to join the football team? You think it's all for show and not for go? Dig in, you chubette!
You chubette. Oh my god.
That's crazy, bro.
I thought this man would have been upset that he has to leave the tennis court.
So I got a job for you. Might get a little messy.
I understand.
Wet work. I'll make it worth your while. Don't worry about that. The old one blue.
It's funny. Wet work's supposed to be code for killing somebody.
Right.
4-0. Yeah, they're not discussing OC.
2 minutes. We're allowed to check back in.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think there's some wiretap laws that you're not supposed to listen in for more than a certain amount of time.
Interesting.
Vienna roast. It's not as acidic as the Italian.
You know, I've had something stuck in my teeth for 2 days now.
They're not gonna get anything for a while, huh?
No one's noticed anything yet.
A different episode. We got more the perspective of the feds investigating Tony and what their process is like. Starting off with Charlie, what stood out to you in this episode and starting off the new season for you?
A step away from just the Sopranos perspective was nice. We got to see the perspective of like the FBI investigating him, which was nice. It was like a stakeout episode the whole way through. So, and it was cool to see the tension between them trying to execute the plan that they thought they had perfect, and then things just not going their way. And yeah, I think like we mentioned there at the end, I don't know if this is gonna last. Someone's gonna notice a tiny little detail that's off there and find the bug.
Yeah. I think the new perspective was cool. I mean, I don't think it's one of those dense episodes that like there's a lot to talk about, but I did enjoy this because it is like a whole different thing. And we know, that there's a lot going on with the feds and the investigation. And usually, we have seen a little bit of this from their perspective, most of their perspective, but a lot of times we see it in the interactions with the mob, with the feds. So like Pussy with that guy he was informing to, who's back in this episode. And then like, Tony when he deals with Agent Harris directly and stuff like that. But there was that one scene, I think it was like either towards the end of season 1 or something. They were at like the dinner together, like all the capos and like the waiters had like the cameras like in their attire and stuff and taking pictures of all the mob bosses and stuff. So we see a little bit of it, but I'm interested to see more and see how, they conflict. I also think like this opens avenues for them to play around with perspectives and stuff a lot more, where, at one point I thought they were going in this episode was they were showing an entire scene through the Fed's perspective and then through the Sopranos perspective. I think that's something that they can play around with at a later date, depending, where we are and what's happening. But I think it just adds another layer that is interesting to see that deviates from the family, but while still giving us like the Sopranos. Like we got everybody in this episode.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we caught up with Meadow. She's in college. AJ and his new thing and what's going on in high school. Carmela now wants to go to the country club and play tennis.
It looks like she's been doing
yeah,
it.
she's been doing it.
But we never really see it.
Tony and what the mob is like now. Yeah, no, we did. And I think what stood out to me in this one was we never understood the scale at to which the feds were investigating The Sopranos. And I think now we understand how big of a scope this really is, and how they are, the measures that they're taking to try to catch something from him, and also understanding from Tony's perspective the measurements that he takes to not get caught, the things that he does so he doesn't get caught. So it's very interesting to see those two dynamics kind of work together and understand how they investigate one another.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we always knew how big the investigation was, but like the details of how much effort they go into to get so little is the part that's super interesting to see. Because all of that work, all of the legwork that one guy did with Pussy to try to get him to, get Tony to incriminate himself, all that stuff, like it didn't amount to anything. And now, they went through all of that just to bug his house. They've bugged every single phone that Tony has
for 4 years.
For 4 years, and they've got nothing because he's very, meticulous and very calculated in how he does things. Even the conversation he was having with the one guy upstairs, and he was like, "Oh, let's go downstairs." He was having that conversation. As soon as he knew he was going to talk about business, he's like, "Nah, like let's move." And it feels like to me, another thing that this episode is showing us is, so far from what we see, the feds have one advantage that Tony is not even a little bit suspecting.
Which is the bug?
Is the bug.
Yeah. No.
Like this bug, from what we got in this episode so far, I mean, again, we have the details of how far they moved the tool table and all that stuff. But otherwise, we have not seen him be suspecting anything other than the fact that obviously he's seen guys staking out around his house. But, they've staked them out before. You know what I mean? This might not be anything out of the ordinary. And he knows they've bugged him in different places. And I guess, he couldn't even fathom them being able to go into his basement and do all of this like in such a short time window. So to me, it feels like right now the feds like scored a point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
In the story, and we'll see how long that point lasts.
Yeah. If this is going to be a continuous narrative that I'm pretty sure it is, because it's an introduction to the season, but if it will end mid-season or new narratives that will get introduced, man, yeah, this was a good start. I mean, like you said, I'm trying to figure out what we discuss about this episode. What else stood out to you?
I think the other big narrative here is Patsy.
Oh yes.
And just it's been a while. I mean, it took from the beginning of season 2, right, of when his brother got whacked, to now for us to see, him coming to grips with all of this, and him, internally, and also people hearing that he's upset and knows that Tony ordered the hit on his brother and all that stuff. So it feels like Tony eliminated Richie, Janice is gone, Junior's like subdued, Pussy is gone, so like most of his adversaries seem to have gone.
Yeah.
Now this felt like, I mean, not that Patsy's any menacing or like Tony should be scared of him, but like this is now one person that clearly has it out for Tony, that I feel like we were going to be missing since the exit of those characters that I just mentioned.
And it seems like he does the financing for the betting and stuff like that. So he has a lot of stuff that the feds would want.
Yeah. He could be the next to cooperate. Who knows?
Could be another rat.
Yeah.
Because he wants to take Tony down so badly.
Right. So exactly. Like who truly knows? And I mean, we'll find out what Patsy's motivations are. We don't know him that well, I don't think.
Yeah.
To truly understand like, his background and what motivations he has, how loyal is he to the mob, how loyal has his family been, like all those kinds of things, to understand if he would do something like this. But then again, like Pussy was one of Tony's right-hand man. Like he was informing, but they had something on him, right? Like the heroin stuff, all that. And that's why he informed. But I don't know. It just feels like Patsy, this was the introduction of like Patsy's arc and how it's gonna come to a head with Tony.
Yeah. What did you guys think of that scene where he shows up to his house? That was crazy.
Yeah. I didn't know if he was actually gonna try something there, but I don't know. I mean, good for him that all he did was piss in his pool, but it seems like Tony knows about that. So,
think so?
Yeah, the little comment that he made, being like, "Oh yeah,
pool?
invite your friend or your son over to hang out with AJ. They can take a dip in the pool."
Yeah,
that kind of felt like a little. you know, little jab being like, I know what you did, buddy.
I think from my perspective, it was just one of those comments that he didn't even know like the significance of it when he said it.
It could be as well, yeah.
I saw from Tony in that sense, it was one of those like keep your enemies closer type of deal, where he's like, all right, I got to really keep an eye on this guy, because if this guy like it truly hates me now, like I need to make sure he can still be trusted, or I got to take care of it.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing. But like seeing him drunk, like first of all, like clearly the guy's like completely overwhelmed with grief and all of that stuff. I wonder why it took so long.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, like we went through that whole season and we don't hear from him at all. Yeah. I wonder if part of it has to do with the other disappearances and him like putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, Richie's gone, Pussy's gone, my brother's gone. Guess who they're all connected to? Like that, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of that. But clearly, like something's got to give here. And like the dude was going crazy, bro. He thinks he was gonna shoot from like almost 100 yards with a revolver and kill Tony. Like,
yeah,
he's clearly like not thinking straight. He's going a little bit crazy. So, I don't know. He doesn't really have any resources, or it doesn't seem like he has anything that he can really use against Tony. So we'll see.
Yeah, maybe someone told him something. That's why he was introduced.
It's possible.
Yeah, maybe he has some information. Yeah. Maybe he is already working with the feds. Who knows? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the music was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
And like you said, David Chase with music takes a very literal approach. Charlie, what was from the music that stood out to you that you picked out in this episode?
I mean, yeah, it was the theme with the spy theme mixed with Every Step You Take. I don't know if that's the title of the song, but yeah.
I don't know if it is, but
the lyrics of the song is like, you know, every move you make, everywhere you go, like I'm watching you. And then with this mixed with like the spy theme with, you know, obviously the FBI stakeout and stuff. So yeah, another use of a very intentional music choice by David Chase there, and I really, really like it. Yeah. Unless it wasn't an episode directed by him, which people have made us aware of, that there are some episodes that are directed by someone else.
I think,
or something?
Does he do a lot of directing in the?
Or is he just
show?
a writer? I don't know.
I know he's the showrunner and writer. I don't know what episodes he's directed.
But the writer could have a definite choice.
The writer has a
that could be too. Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's him though, because so far in this show, there's been a lot of moments like that. So with music choices like that, so
yeah, it feels like something of his signature.
Yeah, he didn't direct it, but he wrote it. But I mean, he is the showrunner, so I feel like he definitely has a.
It's probably in the script.
Yeah,
it's probably in the script.
100%.
Yeah, that was so interesting. But yeah, he has a style. You know what I mean? I mean, regardless of the directing, but the way that he like crafts a narrative and builds it in front of you, is very. Some symbolisms are, you know, a little bit more muted and a little bit more you have to dig for it, but like some of them are very like in your face and like,
yeah,
this is the whole point of it.
And why do you think that's so effective? Like, because sometimes a lot of people who are watching, you know, shows that have a lot of layers don't like the literal approach. They like, sometimes they don't like things that are in your face. But with this show, we've seen a lot of narratives that have, you know, been in our face but have been executed so well. Why with this show why is it so good? Like, what is the difference?
I think that like there's in the world that they live in, there's a little bit of simplicity, right? In the sense of like, this is what the mob does. This is what they like. They like money. They like power. This is the, you know, this is the simple life that they want to live. And I think there's a little bit of that in the sense of like, some of it is very black and white. Some of the things that happen in this life, in this world, are very black and white. But when you dig deeper, there are some gray areas and there are some parts where you have to really peel back what's happening. And I think the more that you get invested in each character and you understand them, like as a person, that's when the layers come out and that's where the symbolism is. So maybe I'm reading into it too much and, you know, reaching, but that's how I see it. Is like, some of the things are super black and white and some of the things are a little bit more gray and, you know, revolve around a little bit more peeling back the layers.
Yeah, I just think it's a good balance between both.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at last season, what happened
Yeah.
with Richie. That was came out of nowhere, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But then you go back and you start realizing, oh, okay, it was building up to this, but I didn't pick it up until it happened.
Yeah.
Right. I think the reason it's good, David, that you're asking is this show doesn't tell you, it shows you the symbolism. Whereas other things could be like telling you like, oh, this is how it's supposed to feel in a way, right? With the dialogue that they write, sometimes they are like explaining the moment versus in here I feel like it just like, you know, it'll flash like something at you and then you're like, oh, there's the symbolism, or just show like, I don't know. I think they do it with imagery instead of just with dialogue.
Yeah,
so
the visual cues are really good.
And sound cues, like the music.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
There's plenty of symbolism to go around, like lower level and high level symbolism in terms of how deep it is and how easy it is to get. I think that's what makes the show great, because I think, and on some levels, it's a easy thing to watch and be like, okay, I understand the story, I understand where it's going. And then on other levels, there's like a lot to talk about because there's just so many layers of the characters and the narrative and the world.
Yeah. But before we end off this episode, what is something I think from this season that you want to see different that we saw from last season? What is something you want to build off of?
More involvement of the family members. Like we just got a new narrative with AJ now joining football. I want to know what the motive is for that. I don't know if it's just because he thought the jersey was cool because he saw the kid with the jersey, right? And clearly we're seeing AJ do more, you know, bad boy things, like he's smoking cigarettes, you know, ditching class. Yeah, so he is he's gonna have an interesting arc, I think. So curious to see that.
Yeah, I honestly I agree with Charlie. Honestly, AJ is the one that I'm the most curious in, and I think they're showing us a little bit of like the lack of relationship that he and Tony have because of the way that he's acting, and maybe like the role model that Tony should be. I mean, in his mind, he probably thinks, well, my dad probably does worse shit than I do. And that's why he's, you know, so okay with just doing whatever and skipping school and all that stuff. So I think that that dynamic is going to be one that I'm going to have my eye on, and I'm going to want to see if it just progresses worse for AJ because he has less and less of a relationship with Tony, or it just stays the same, there's nothing, or you know, him having more of a relationship with Tony, whether that has a positive effect or even more of a negative effect.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, I want to see Christopher because he got the promotion, how his relationship is with Adriana now and his dynamic in the mob getting promoted, but also Meadow in college and how that shifts Tony's relationship with AJ. Those are two things that stood out to me that I want to see in this season.
Yeah.
But yeah. With that being said, y'all, thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode. We'll be back for more Tony Tuesday. See you soon, y'all. Stay beautiful.
Peace.